we dey come over to we studio guest them as we don't get two gentlemen with we inside the studio. And the first person we are going to introduce now the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Francis Ben Kaifala, we who can talk about the measure them what the commission on they put in place on the fight against corruption as Salon. Good morning and welcome to the program and Happy New Year.
Good morning, it's up to you. Happy New Year to you too.
It's you after not 1 year so.
1 year.
Okay, well, welcome. And also
always a pleasure for come back to the studios.
We also get to tweet somebody from Bank of Salon, the Senior Director of Monitoring Stability, Alfred Samawe. They can tell you about the instant payment switch. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, 98.1. Good morning to everyone.
Okay, when I continue for the with you, at this time we'll bring you Francis Ben Kaifala. The fight against corruption still continue as we see when I don't update people on different things when I don't do. You therefore talk about the fight against corruption and also about the audit report. But for start with, what you would describe what the status on the fight against corruption currently in the country.
Well, thank you. It's up to you. The fight against corruption on there, and I wish to first thank the President and people of Sierra Leone for appointing me commissioner. I done it for 6 years, and I appreciate the work with the team, with the support me and all the government machinery, various branches of government, including the judiciary and the legislature. They provide for support. We work. So far, so very good. As you know, we continue for do well. They improve globally. We recognize globally other countries that they come for camps under study. We work. Every year we get several letters coming in from them come see what they do, that they appreciate it, they do far and wide, both in Africa and in Europe. And I believe if we continue on this trajectory, we go continue for improve, and as we continue for improve, the country will become better.
So when you talk about other countries they count the study, waiting the Anti-Corruption Commission don't do in which aspect exactly? Because when you look at Salon and waiting on don't do, you get certain view contrary from waiting the public feel on a fight against corruption. Well,
we first of all we fight against corruption. The structure of the fight against corruption is recognized in Africa as the best. And as far wide as Nigeria, Ghana, other countries, Gambia, Zambia, Uganda, they come, each of them they come for study a particular aspect. So, for example, when Uganda come for study with asset declaration regime, we are one of the best in the world. We get the highest declaration rate in the entire Africa since the fight against corruption start anywhere. And also when, for example, Guinea they come for study with financial systems. How will they run the commission financially? They get 2 trips. One was our financial systems. Another team come for study with investigative and prosecutorial powers. When Liberia they come for study with reforms that we don't lead to Salon for improve in many ways. When Gambia they come for study with institutional framework and set up. So, like I say, all these countries they come for with a specific for view one of the many areas they will really recognize as doing very well in. For example, now I get requests from Nigeria for medical study with enforcement regime, particularly after the reforms of 2019, so that then we will reform the new laws. So basically that's it. They are following. If you go on social media, for example, they are following and they are very proud of what we are doing in Sierra Leone, and they want to replicate that in their countries, and they are most times calling on us to go on.
Other countries they come study una method of the fight against corruption, but how far una as commission don't go for corruption in that country?
Very far. If you look at the data, for example, if you Afrobarometer, corruption prevalence in Sierra Leone was as high as 72%. That means the country was very, very corrupt. Afrobarometer now, corruption prevalence in Sierra Leone is less than 40%. Which means the country is only moderately corrupt. If you look at all indexes, for example, if you look at the TI index, in 2017, we'll be there 131. Today, we are as high as 108. We are about to go into double digits as a country for the first time. And if you look at the MCC control of corruption, we not be the pass. In 2017, we fail. We get 49%. Since 2018, we don't pass consistently over 70%. In fact, we don't even hit 2 times above 80%. So anyhow you look at it, we are far better, much more improved than we have ever been.
Now, when you look at these international benchmarkings, MCC, Afro Barometer, Salon, they do well in terms of the fight against corruption.
Very well.
But when it comes on the ground, Salon, they do well.
How?
Looking at, for instance, the bank issue when NRA account then they divert, you look at other issues them like the different funding for public. I look at the Auditor General's reports. Salon, they get a lot of missing cash, a lot of missing properties, and the SEC itself, always they display money, say that these people they don't take. What's not the missing link that Salon they do well in terms of benchmarking, but when it come on the ground, funding then still they get missing. We meant for the public.
No, the missing link is the perspective with which you are looking at the fight against corruption. The fight against corruption is about the effort the country is doing against corruption. It's not saying corruption all day. So when they come for measure, they measure within the country they do for face this problem of corruption where they everywhere in the world. So basically when they benchmark Sierra Leone and say Sierra Leone is doing well, they are basically saying that the fight against corruption is going well. Okay, so it not means say because we people that thief money in a bank, not to do
That's
now,
not
but
just
more
example.
when they come for measure, the CC we go after them, we recover 100% of the money which was stolen. We also impose punishment on them, and the country gain out of the whole process. So the perspective where you look at them is, for example, now if we wake up this morning, they say somebody thief money, now one institution, therefore they are not doing well in the fight against corruption. That's not true. The question is, what do you do about it when you find
So
out
the,
that somebody
the fight no they prevent corruption at all.
If the fight not to prevent corruption, why would they display money or they recover? Basically, the fight, that is why it's a fight. It's an action word, okay? It means there is something you're going against. So that thing will be there. But the question is, when we, for example, notice, say, corruption is somewhere, are we not doing something about it? So when the index is there, they measure, they are basically measuring how robustly will they react against them thing they do. So yes, we are preventing corruption. Yes, we are controlling corruption in Sierra Leone, vehemently and seriously.
Take me through the indictment and way the ACC don't do recently.
The indictment that ACC don't do recently.
Yes, in the fight
within a
against corruption.
time frame of recently.
1 year, within 1 year.
Within
1
the
year, 6
past
months.
1 year. We don't take several cases to court. For example, recently you see we display when somebody also we will hold a shell. We'll get a judgment in court. Somebody will thief about 3.9 billion from EDSA. So those are all indictments under the Anti-Corruption Act where we pursue. We also get some other cases where we charge to court where people then go and plead guilty, and the court basically sentence them immediately, and we take them to court. We get a number of outstanding cases that will be done charged to court where they still day before the court where they try. And so basically we get a combination of actions they will do against corruption, indictments, we get prevention work, we get administrative sanctions, we get recovery options. We all they work together very well, and that is why we are rated as very strong in the fight against corruption. Yes.
So in terms of the fight against corruption, just like how you explain on which one they try for do, is it that Nafole people fall victim, then they do recovery of waiting they don't find them wanting for, or not at all they do not involve in corruption?
So,
which are really matter?
So the fight against corruption is structured on 4 pillars. Okay, you get a prevention pillar, where basically we stop people them from committing corruption, and that is being done a lot. That means we get systems and processes reviews where they take place in various MDAs. So basically, in fact, and the strongest part of the fight against corruption. The reason why that one did not get recognized by the public most times is because not on news. For go stop people them from committing corruption, basically you go tell them, say, okay, you have a bank account, there are only 2 signatories, that is a serious corruption risk. Increase that 2 signatories to 3 signatories, then you have increased the possibility, you reduce monopoly. Now there's no point, that cannot be news. If una area and say una no recall, we can't talk about that. But what you call us about is when we go arrest somebody, when somebody thief, and that one in a very small part of we work, very, very small part of the work. In fact, probably that the most insignificant part of the work. But now they get the news. Oh, they don't arrest somebody. Oh, corruption don't happen.
No, now that's not self like for display out to the public. Let people see and believe. They
no,
say
not
indeed or they fight corruption.
No, we they fight corruption on 4 pillars: prevention, enforcement, prosecution, and public education. So if we if we present one of the pillars when our enforcement, it's all and good. That does not mean prevention work not to go on. But I am saying the public sector not really that interested in prevention work. They are most interested in the news. Somebody don't thief money here, ACC don't intervene, ACC don't do this, ACC don't do this, audit report don't come out. In that audit report, there are issues which are administrative, there are issues which are prevention, there are issues which are enforcement issues. But the public is more interested in what do you do. The sensational part of the fight against corruption is what draws attention, and most times now in the public they feel say nine at the fight against corruption, but really that are the weakest part of the fight against corruption.
So in terms of the prevention we mentioned as one of the structures on addressing corruption, how much of this don't they happen on ACC preventing
a lot,
certain individual or institution?
A lot. We don't do systems reviews in over 90 MDAs over the past 6 years. So basically we check the systems there, we identify problems them. For make corruption thrive, you get for reduce three main things. You get for reduce monopoly, so decision making get for be spread. You get for reduce the incentives for corruption. You get for make sure that people they not get the urge for engaging in corruption, but also you get for also reduce the means of corruption. So for example, if now a cash based system, people they pay money too much in the particular office, you go say no, let them go pay in a bank, they carry receipt instead, and we do a lot of that in various MDs.
Continue for the where you don't mention the audit report. We'll come back to look into that. That's not Francis Ben Kaifala, Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission. We don't need to take we so far how the fight against corruption at the country don't tell so far. The program. Good morning, Salon. They continue.
And with the country, we other studio guest, we now Alfred Sama, Senior Director Monitoring Stability, Bank of Salon. We then at the program for can talk about the instant payment switch. We then they launched today. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about this payment switch for a very long time. Within the latest one now.
All right. Thank you very much. I just want to jog family the memory small bit, and we can recall say in May 2023, precisely on the 3rd, His Excellency the President will launch the first phase of the national switch itself, when I've been the card switching, and that time they will be get 4 banks that will be in the live, but one for my public know now say to this day we don't get up to 10 banks with the live with the card switching, where they actually facilitate for let you use any card where you get from any bank for access money now any bank in ATM or do transaction using any bank in POS. Now the second phase of this project now the instant payment we now in we can talk about today. The instant payment actually now one form of the national switch where they facilitate bank to bank or account to account transfer of funds, account to wallet transfer of funds, wallet to account transfer of funds. What to mean here now that with the instant payment you can move money from your account to another person in account in another bank from outside you see them using your mobile phone, for instance. You can also move money with the instant payment from your African Money mobile wallet to your Orange Money mobile wallet through this channel of payment. So now this the instant payment actually come for Kando. So in essence, it's a payment a platform whereby you able to process transactions on the go. You don't necessarily need to go to outside ATM before you get access to money. You will only sit down with your phone, you access your account, you put money there, then you transfer to somebody else in your account, now another bank. We make them easy and convenient for everybody. This is what the instant payment is all about. And what we try to do now currently, we involved in the pre-launch activities. And one of the pre-launch activities we involved in today, we start with float parade now Freetown. We get one group where they come out from Clienttown roundabout to Bank of Sierra Leone. Another group they come out from Aberdeen Road Junction to Bank of Salon, where the governor will get opportunity for talk to the public about this instant payment. Then we will continue on the 22nd, Naboton and Kenema at the same time. Then on the 29th, we'll go McKinney. Then on the 5th of February, we'll go there and put local, do the same float parade. Then on the 13th of February, we'll actually launch officially the instant payment.
So in terms of instant payment switch, you get other area we cover clearing, settlement, and message translation. Ununayo not just transaction, it cover, or there is more to it?
There's so much more to it. You can recall currently we get bilateral switching arrangements between mobile money operators and the various commercial banks. Them. Now within that bilateral switching arrangement, you get access to your bank statement, you do get access to your account balance, you do get messages wey dey come to you, it dey show you your balance at any point in time. If when you do transaction, it will show you how much you don't do and how much don't left in your account. Now within the instant payment, it even give you more information than within the bilateral switching they do. Remember, say in any situation whereby two institutions then they involve in transactions across the network, settlement will get for day definitely, and clearing will definitely get for day. So it involves everything. But this is like more technical for the public because this is not the work with the instant switch itself they do. What's important for the public know is that with the instant switch you go able actually move transaction, move funds from your account now any bank to another person in your account now any bank at ease from anywhere where you go there within Salon.
So what's really unique or extra from waiting other bank they do in terms of financial transaction on your own instant switch payment?
Yeah, so what's unique about it is that a lot is unique because currently, for instance, you do on Orange Money. You know they're able to send money from Orange Money to Afri Money with ease. Okay? You know they're able to pull money from your bank account to another person in a bank account without you visiting your bank or calling your bank. Say transfer me money from me to you, transfer me money to Mr. Sama in your account or Rokel or na SSCB. You know they're able to do that. The person move to the bank or you call a manager for do am for you. And with the instant payment, you sit down, who start you this on your studio and do your transaction as easy as possible. In the Sona studio, you do your transaction, you transfer your money from your bank account to another person in bank account. You transfer your money from your mobile money wallet to another mobile money wallet, another network, across another network with ease. So this now make the difference. And the other thing we actually made the difference is that it make data generation very, very easy and access to data very, very easy for we. Now it's difficult for you even track every transaction will happen within the system, but now with the instant payment all transactions they go across the national switch network, and with that the national switch network will able to provide data for every transaction will happen. If they provide data, for instance, if you pay for instance you clearing and forwarding fee, you pay tax, you pay GST, if they able to track that transaction and give correct information. When they also make reconciliation for most of them financial institutions, very, very easy. So these are all the beauties with the instant payment they come for you for bring for Salomon. Then in addition to that, as I said, it make life very, very easy. It do transactions safely, securely, because you will call your bank and say, do this transaction for me. I'm not preempting anything, but it takes faith for you because it do transaction for me, it do it for you. It takes that faith, wait for being at the banking system. Yeah, you said, but the instant payment said you open your account, you do your transaction, you are safe.
In the past, when you transfer money from bank to bank, they will tell you say you need to reflect today, and it will take some days. With this system, how in the work and waiting that they change.
So with this system, when you transfer the money instantly, now they call an instant payment. It is instant. Instantly, you see your response, they come to you.
So you need to take days again before the money reflects.
No. Instant. It's instant. I sit here, I do my transaction, instantly it reflects. Now that are one of the beauties that we get. It's fast, it's safe, and it's secure.
Okay. Now when you talk about how much is simple and authentic, again when you look at banking system and service where they get most times waiting you can say where you go to the bank itself. From the starting point of where you go cash check and everything, this is a certain facility in the way they lack. In this way where you talk about the instant payment switch, now so it will be in reality.
I don't know which facility than the way lack currently, but
my point why they try for is most times when people can carry for bring out something where they market or sell, how they explain them and the reality we going for the service now total opposite. So now make they actually say as much as you explain and so if somebody try the system now so it work.
Okay, we don't travel now 1 or 2 countries then, or we don't travel outside of Salon. We go be a witness say this is what is existing now plenty other countries then. Go to Nigeria, go to Ghana, is existing there. Most countries now, this is the way then they go. You go to supermarket, you eat.
No,
Or
talk
you
based on
restaurant, you
salon.
eat, you
We
do
definitely
transaction.
not say they be
Well,
like
I go build up your story. You go to a restaurant, you eat, you do your transaction. So as I they tell you, so it's not to say a story. I they tell you.
Okay.
This is how the instant payment they work.
Okay, continue for day with that now Alfred Sama from Bank of Salon and the Senior Director Monitoring and Stability where they talk about the instant payment switch.
We come to we studio guest we na Francis Ben Kaifala in the commissioner na the Anti-Corruption Commission. He don't they talk about the stripe they put in place for fight against corruption at the country. And I earlier mentioned the issue of corruption allegations na the audit report and the financial losses. What in the ACC they do but audit report in terms of the fight against corruption?
Thank you very much. Well, as you know, the audit report na a professional document done by the one that we get responsibility for check. We ACC they see the audit report as a whistleblowing source, as a source where they raise red flags as to what thing that happen within the socio-political architecture of Sierra Leone, so that we can take action against them. But as you know, they work in tandem with Parliament, whereby constitutional mandate, the report is presented to them for them to debate and to take action on where they can. So we and Parliament, they actually work hand in hand in respect of this audit report.
When the ACC come to this time that they in Parliament they work hand in hand, because I remember some time back when audit report come out, the ACC being clearly announced now then get right for look at the audit reports is a property of the ACC.
Well, it depends on when that some time back, because that would be that not a position will go take place women ahead of the ACC. As head of the ACC, I understand within the law, I understand the constitutional framework around audit reports. I am fully aware, say, Parliament, the report is primarily made for the attention of Parliament. However, who say we and Parliament diverge a little bit is whether ACC get any role for play. And we own position at that as long as it concerns corruption, as long as it get issues for deal with corruption. The kind way how Parliament they approach the issue is slightly wrong. And we they engage them on a very professional basis. We sit down and discuss it, and we are having very fruitful conversations around it. For me, they understand, say, it's a partnership. It's a system for deal with a problem, a very wicked problem. We don't plague Sierra Leone for a very long time. And it's not about power. It's not about monopoly. It's about what we all can do to deal with it conscientiously.
So that partnership, the way you talk about, you think say did now in terms of addressing the issue on the 2023 report, because which you they speak to, so as partnership totally different from waiting the chairman of the Public Account Committee states now in terms of ACC and that of Parliament.
Well, that partnership don't always stay. And like I don't do as head of ACC for 6 years. And within these 6 years, when, for example, the Right Honorable Singapore Thomas was head of the Public Accounts Committee, whenever audit reports come up, we do a summary of the audit report, we present the framework with them, we give them a plan of action by the ACC, we meet with them, then self tell you within the plan of action, and together, in fact, when Honorable Singapore Thomas be the seat on Public Accounts Committee, they invite ACC for good day. When we serve, they investigate with the gear report, and some of the issues that as they come before them, you know, they deal with them as speedy as the way how we see things are happening now. They call we and say, no, this is why the way how we look at it, and this is a slightly technical issue, and we believe the ACC go look into them and they refer them to it. So that partnership has been there up to now, but recently we begin to see some rhetorics coming from Parliament where really they challenge that partnership, but we try for handle and professional.
The earlier state said the method or approach where Parliament use right now for address the audit reports wrong. How? Which exactly wrong?
Yeah, I'm not saying the method of approach wrong.
You say
it's when then they say ACC not get no role for do with
Okay.
Auditor General's report. Now that they wrong. I believe say that now a slightly wrong position. And notice say, for example, my very good friend Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, where they peddle that, and they go as far as for declare in sittings, in radio stations, television stations across the country. They hold public hearings in the provinces where they go and declare, say, if anybody invited by ACC, let the person not go there. You see, when somebody occupies certain positions like the Speaker, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and you are head of Public Accounts Committee, there is a standard required of you. Certain things should be discussed in a more organized way, in meetings, in consultations. But when you are doing that kind of thing, going on radio all over the country, holding public meetings, and you are making the declarations in a very bellicose way, as if you and ACC get a battle, we don't have a problem. We are all just trying to play our role within a country which has been plagued by corruption for a very long time. And the delegation of that responsibility for fight corruption was done by Parliament itself when it chose to create an act and give powers to the ACC to fight corruption. And ACC is doing exactly that. If you have an issue with something, I think you should have a more organized way, but we cannot have parliamentary gangsterism all over the place, trying to impose your will on an independent institution, as if you get the powers for just sit down and say do this. And I say this, when you say, they say, oh, you want to fight Parliament. No, there is a difference between fighting Parliament or raising issues with Parliament and raising issue with an individual who should be called to order by Parliament itself.
And where they display that gangsterism? Parliamentary gangsterism.
Parliamentary gangsterism.
Yes.
I think the way how Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte they go about this is a bit out.
We need to go for a break now.
I think he should be cut to order.
Commissioner Kaifala. The program Good Morning Salon they continue. We will bring this edition come to you this Wednesday morning. Me Nasapti Ukalon.
And Musa Kamara Naminim. We still get Francis Kaifala na the studio, and also Alfred Sama from the Bank of Salon. We come to you, Sama. But before we go for that break, we'll be there with Francis Kaifala on the role of the ACC in the fight against corruption, especially we think we get for do with the audit report. You say we not get a role for play. And according to Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, they say the ACC no get rule for play, but now them for reform matter too now. From that perspective, whose role you think say una get for play rather than waiting Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte make mention of?
The Anti-Corruption Commission are an independent agency of government. Okay? When you get an independent agency of government under administrative law, it's slightly different from all other agencies of government which are usually under the executive structure of the state. An independent agency of government is stated clearly in our act, that we are not subject to the control or authority of any other institution.
So we are not subject to Parliament?
No, we're not subject to Parliament. That does not mean we cannot work with Parliament. That does not mean Parliament not get the oversight responsibilities. But that way they how Honorable Tawa, they try for presenter like winner like EDSA, or winner like whose other agency of government like EPA. These executive agencies, he's clearly mistaking the position of law. When an independent agency of state is created by law, that independent agency is in a class of law called sui generis. They are in a class of their own. So the normal rules where they apply, for example, even the executive, the way how the executive they oversight their independent agents, their other agencies, then they know they apply to independent agencies of state. So there are four of us in the country which are not subject to such rules. The Audit Service is one. The Office of the Ombudsman is one. The Human Rights Commission is one. The Anti-Corruption Commission is one. Therefore, if you come on radio or you go hold public hearings and you try for denigrate the institutions that they for say things them where they make and look like say you can just sit down and give orders and they have to comply to it, then clearly you yourself need for review your understanding of how the administrative state works, and that is the problem in this conversation.
So, Commissioner, in this situation on the audit report, when are the role of that of Parliament and the Anti-Corruption Commission? Exactly.
I don't clearly say by constitutional mandate, Parliament when the audit report complete and the table, then report to Parliament, and Parliament get a responsibility by law for debate the audit report.
Also for call people away.
And they can delegate that responsibility to do that or whatsoever framework it is to the Public Accounts Committee, which Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte heads. So clearly Parliament get role for play with the audit report. The problem is, we as Anti-Corruption Commission, the law don't give you the power. Say any side we recognize the corruption there, we will take action. And like I said in our press release, that mandate was not made subject, or they're not exempt the audit report from that mandate. It was a universal mandate to say, if corruption there, let ACC look into that. So we see the audit report as a whistleblowing book,
So
as something which raises a red flag that something is wrong here and there. Now, we recognize the mandate of Parliament, and for the whole of last year, when the same Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte wrote a letter to the ACC to say, we'll not for act on the audit report, immediately I tell my team, say, let them hold for act on the audit report, and they did nothing about the audit report for the entire year. He did everything he has to do. He held his hearings. In those hearings, he was always attacking the ACC publicly. When they call you now, no go there. People, my team was demoralized. They would always come to me and tell me, hey, Honorable Tawadi, you attack me all the time. You are not saying anything. You are not saying anything. I say, yes, when I left farm. When they finished, I called him. I told him, okay, when I don't act on this audit report, send we a copy of a report we go now tell we waiting when I don't do the one that we don't pay. For example, where did they pay, who verified those payments, all those things. Now I say, okay, yes, we make it available to you. This year when this new audit report come up, I called him again and we spoke very friendly and said, yes, let's have the report so we know what is happening. He said, yeah, when they do the report, we try for any time, we will forward on to you. Then I said, okay, we'll hold a press conference and just set up a framework of what is in the audit report so that the public does not think that no action will be taken, but we will consult with you. The next thing I hear from this man who I spoke with, who I summarized the audit report with my team and we forwarded it to him, he called me back to say there was no action point stated on from our end what we are going to do with the audit report. We added those action points and forwarded it to him. He never got back to me. The next thing I had was that letter that came to me, and the next thing he was all over the radio, television and stations saying that the ACC should hands off the audit report.
Now we look at Tawa when they mentioned imposition yesterday, say, in the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, yes, and virtue of imposition in the fifth man the country, and you this morning they refer to him as gangster honorable. You not think say that word they
I not refer to him as gangster honorable.
It's a Parliament Gangsterism,
as and Parliamentary Gangsterism. It's a general statement that describes when they do things in a way we're not proper, but in anon ever refer to.
And they address them as in they do Parliament Gangsterism.
Well, anything we fall within that category of doing things without going through proper processes and procedures go qualify as gangsterism.
You not think say that what they add for describe the Deputy Speaker?
I not describe them. I describe the actions way in totality might be looked at in that way.
Commissioner, in all of this, from which we don't hear from you and Honorable Tawa Conte, it's like there is no form of collaboration between the two individual or institution them. And one go to wonder why people of such caliber go back and forth on order for handle a audit report.
There is no back and forth.
Because now not even get a conclusion. It's waiting there they do you they say they not get right for do instead they say ACC back not get right for do this. So there's a back and forth.
No. There is clear collaboration. I don't tell you, say, Honorable Tawa Conte only become head of the Parliament.
What kind of collaboration?
So allow me to explain that.
Okay, go ahead.
Honorable Tawa Conte only become head of the Parliamentary Account Committee 1 year ago. Before that was Honorable Sengepo Thomas. And we had immense collaboration between us. Honorable Paran Trawali, when at the Clerk of Parliament, can confirm this. Okay? The challenge we have is that, like I don't tell you, the same process will be the follow before now we follow with Honorable Tawa Conte in your own committee. We summarize the audit report, identify all the issues there. We identify say this one administrative issue, this na prevention issue, this one na an issue where you not even need any form of investigation. We identify say this one it need investigation. We forward on to them, and we did in this case to him. And I followed it up with a phone call to him. We had a conversation, and in that conversation, I raised two things with him. I tell him, I say, one, we don't want impunity in the system. We don't want let Parliament just go call people. Waiting to happen here. Okay, now this is like, for example, you read the King Ho explanation. Oh no, King Ho not get nothing for pay $5 million is gone. I say, we want check if somebody is responsible for such a problem. let that person also face the consequence so that it not go repeat next time. I had this conversation on the phone with Honorable Tawa Conte in a very friendly matter, and he agreed. The next thing I told him was to forward the report of last year work we then do on this issue, so it go guide we for know if indeed, because as head of the Anti-Corruption Commission, I have responsibility to look at the anti-corruption space of the country to see whether we are improving or we are retrogressing. And the report is an integral part of that. I asked him for it. I have not received that report. So if you say collaboration not there, it is not exactly so. We have immense collaboration between we and Parliament, and everything I have explained to you was in the spirit of collaboration. The only time where we self-surprised, and I have called the leadership of Parliament and spoken to all of them about this, from the Speaker to the head of government business to the whip of Parliament to the clerk of Parliament, and I complained to them to say the way how Honorable Tawa Conte they go about this is slightly not the way we have been working, and they should call him to order. And that is what I am repeating here.
So now, one thing we don't left open, we make the view they say, who that people get for listening to, especially people or institution, the way they name find one thing inside the audit report, who that they get for go explain or be accountable to. I mean, Parliament they do hearing, they will see say SEC back they give update generally outside the state institution them where they will say misuse, unable explain for certain amount of money.
We are when I make, because Honorable Tawa Conte said in the act on the audit report, we not do nothing about it. We not even invite nobody yet on this particular audit report. We not speak to nobody yet, because we don't want exactly that confusion there to the public. I'd also repeat to you, say the whole of last year, when we start to act on the audit report and the right to sale will stop, we stop immediately.
Okay.
It became a parliamentary function and responsibility. The only thing we are asking for, we want to see the report. If you say people pay $5 million, we want to know who side.
They say accounting bank then the money go. You know how we have the bank the way say then the way people pay to, because it states there yesterday and all of that. Outside people already don't pay to.
No, when you ask, I go tell you say they pay at the consolidated revenue fund. The consolidated revenue fund is series of accounts linked in the system of the Accountant General's office.
So is it?
So we have hundreds of accounts linked to the consolidated revenue fund. Mr. Samadi, I understand this with your try for say. So we don't know side.
So doubts they right? When I get doubts on the approach or
we don't get doubt, we just want clarification.
Okay. Now, rounding up on this issue, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Chair of the Public Account Committee, don't ask government ministries, departments and agencies not for answer to the call of the ACC.
Yes.
On the audit reports.
Yes.
What's in our position on this?
Well, we position that the issue we were supposed to solve in-house. We will engage Parliament for get the conversation with that, but we know they intercept within the Parliament. Say the Parliament is a very powerful body, and a respectful body, and we believe say everybody for respect Parliament because now the third arm of government. So we, for example, know they begin call people on this audit report after we Parliament don't make that kind of public declaration. But that not mean say we not get for consult with them. I'd already speak with the Honorable Speaker of Parliament. We already get experience with dealing with this issue, so that then say we intervene and then we know within the go on.
So at the end of the day, when we will see a proper one working, structure from Parliament and that of Anti-Corruption Commission, because for now it clear say they go back and forth on who that people for really go explain to for say, well, this money where the audit report say misuse, I get an explanation to her, or who that go and be accountable.
Sapchi, you conflate two issues.
So
here.
Why
there is an issue of the head of the Public Accounts Committee and Parliament. Parliament is different from a single individual.
When you talk about Public Account Committee, definitely not Parliament today. So if you say Parliament indirectly, we talk about.
Oh, well, there are times when you get for separate the two, particularly when waiting they happen slightly different from waiting at the procedure we know about Parliament. Then you start to look at the actions of the individual slightly separately from the Parliament itself. So let we not conflate the whole Parliament with waiting one man to do. But also, we know they say that one man they not get legitimacy for doing what they do because it belongs to Parliament and are a serious, like instead they claim in the fifth most powerful man of the country. We are just an agency of state, like you rightly say. But that does not mean we not go engage with them for try for make sure say we not get.
They claim the position you mean? Like I just say like I have the claim.
Yeah, he's saying that the fifth most powerful man of the country. I am not aware of that, to be honest. My whole knowledge of administrative law not tell me that.
Okay,
so
continue.
You look like when the ACC gets issue with this current PAC.
We will not get issue with the current PAC. We get issue with the procedure ways they adopt sometimes.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. Francis Ben Kaifala, Commissioner at the Anti-Corruption Commission. With the count we other still you guys, Wena Alfred Sama, Senior Director Monitoring Stability, Bank of Salon. We therefore talk about the payment switch. You don't talk about the launch and the activities the Mona get today for Sekadi Salon permanent payment switch. I beg your pardon. What's next after today activities?
Yeah, thank you very much. So after today activity, they repeat the same activity in Bo on the 22nd, Bo and Kenema on the 22nd of January. Then on the 29th, we did McKinney with the same float parade. Then on the 5th of February, we did go Port Loco and conduct the same float parade. One for ensure say we actually sell this initiative out to the entire populace of Sierra Leone, that everybody actually come on board and benefit from the goodies of this instant payment switch. But before you ask for that question, I just want to let people know exactly say, currently we get 7 commercial banks and where they live with the instant payment switch. And then commercial bank here so now, Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, Roque Commercial Bank, Zenith Bank, Commerce and Mortgage Bank, Skype Bank, GT Bank, and Access Bank. EcoBank and UTB, we dey expect them for join for go live as well next week. They will also get 2 mobile money operating companies that will also don't join the instant payment switch. We now Orange Money and Afri Money. Q Money self they very close for join, and we are hopeful that by next week then self will join. So the next thing is I will encourage all Sierra Leoneans where they actually bank with them bank here so for go now you bank and request them for onboard you on the instant payment switch, because you get to be onboarded before you able fully participate. If you are not onboarded, you're not going to actually able participate. So you go now you commercial bank and request them for onboard you on the instant payment switch. And once you are onboarded, you enjoy all the goodies where the instant payment switch gets.
That messages them on don't they send on 0779-819-819 also on our Facebook page. It's up to you, Kano.
The first one I will take on a Facebook page for Mark 10 and New England Village say, I'm totally disappointed ACC and Parliament are not in the same page when it comes to audit report. I was expecting ACC to work with Parliament in accordance with the Constitution.
From Sir Leby in our Facebook page, they say Parliament Gangsterism. This is my take home for today's Good Morning Salon.
This one for Amadou Ba in our Facebook page is say, now I've learned and understand that 4 agencies are not answerable to the House of Parliament in Sierra Leone.
This one from Amadou Bari in our Facebook page, they say the Swift free system is good, but I hope you have engaged with the mobile network company to strengthen their network system.
Another message again from Dauda Tarawali in our Facebook page. They say, Mr. Commissioner, you have looked at this report for last 6 years and made some recommendations, but it seems as if your recommendations are not working because we keep getting some of the same administration involving in corruption.
This one from Mark 10, New England Village, say, Mr. Commissioner, Section 119.4 of the 1991 Constitution of Salon Act number 6 clearly stipulates that the Auditor General must submit the reports to Parliament within 12 months of the end of the financial year. This report is very important because it will highlight any irregularities in the audited accounts and other matters deemed significant for Parliament's attention. From Mark 10.
This other one from Muhammad Jalon, our Facebook page, say it's all clear how Parliament members are dishonest to Salon people and the Constitution.
This one say, please confirm if the instant bank switch system will also ensure that someone in Sierra Leone can send money in Sierra Leone to any part of Africa without the need for currency conversion, because this will also make intra-African trade more efficient, cutting out unnecessary delays and cost.
Another one, Amadou Bari in our Facebook page, say Tawa don't Tawa pandem.
This one from Dauda Tarawal in our Facebook is a dangerously educated versus Parliament's Gangsterism.
Another one from See Chelsea FC, they say, I have the maximum respect for Honorable Tawa Conte, but his position in this matter is slightly wrong. We know that Parliament of Sierra Leone is a powerful organ of government, and rightly so its members. However, it is not something that should be preoccupied in your head as you sleep and wake.
This one from Paul Cannon, our Facebook page, he say because our parliament has been weakened by corruption, the ACC has now the got to downgrade the third arm of government. Salon don't finish. Parliament we get right for in summon presidents. Chai.
This other one from Dauda Kombana, our Facebook page, they say, according to the dangerously educated man, the person say here, they quote Honorable Tawa, 4 key institutions, the Ombuds, Anti-Corruption Commission, Human Rights Commission, and the Auditor General office are not subject to parliamentary oversight. However, the Public Accounts Committee chaired by Honorable Tawa seems to hold a defiant position on this matter. Interesting times ahead.
Stephen Lamina, our Facebook page, they say the national payment switch is a good system once the banks are ready to leverage it. It is a concern that over a year since the card switching was launched, one cannot use a UBA card on an EcoBank terminal and vice versa. The transactions that are successful attract international charges. Should the national switch be catering for this?
This other from a Facebook page, they say, Commissioner Kaifala, though you have stated that there is a collaboration, but what I heard yesterday from Tawa and what you're saying now, it's totally different, that there is no slight form of collaboration between the two institutions or individuals.
This one from Thomas Rogers, now with Facebook page, say most MDAs are not afraid going to the PAC, but when you say to the ACC, they panic in their pants. Both PAC and Parliament needs to find a common ground to working together in curbing, deterring corruption.
Another one, the last one I will take, they say, washing your dirty linen in the public is one thing this administration should try and manage. These are issues that should discuss internally and not bring out to the public.
Okay, this one say, I hope say the speaker na Parliament of Salon will take action against the ACC commissioner for calling his parliament gangster.
Okay, Musa, because of time.
Yes, the last one for me because of time. Before we come to Alfred Sama, this one from Thomas Rogers. They say if this issue between the PAC and the ACC is not resolved amicably, I think the ACC boss will resign. We come to Alfred Sama for respond to messages. Then we come for Seka the Salon payment switch before we come to Francis Ben Kaifala, Commissioner ACC.
Yeah, I just say thank you to the Anteway same their messages here. So the first one to talk about engagements with the mobile network operators. I want to let the public know say Bank of Sierra Leone is not in this alone. We work with all stakeholders. We work with commercial banks. We work with mobile network operators, as well as mobile money operators. We as well work with the National Telecommunications Agency. So we work with all of their arms here for ensure say what will they do so come to a beneficial thing to all Sierra Leoneans. But also I let people know say only tap day. We also work with even electricity providers, ESA, because all of it get for do with power, network, and everything else. So we work with all stakeholders for ensuring we succeed. Somebody asked if someone will use this system for send money across to any African country. First and foremost, I want to let the public know say we primary target for now for focus on transactions at a national level. For let you go at an international level, you get forget arrangement with the necessary international gateways for let you go to that level there. So the focus first at this level now for go national. Then the third phase of the project now will go now international.
Okay.
This is just the second phase of the first. Then concerns for the effectiveness of the card switching. Yes, the concern there, as I said, we've been beginning with 4 banks. Now we don't go up to 10 banks. The concern there, and it also boils down to the same question with the first text I sent. We get for do with other players in the society. Card switching currently you get for the stationary points them. You get the ATMs get for the stationary points. You get the POS get for the stationary points, and all of them they need power. So sometimes you can go the power not in the channel, so it can cause them challenges, and we're quite aware of those challenges. But I want to assure the public say the Bank of Sierra Leone, the commercial banks, they will work assiduously for ensure say wetin we dey talk about could become top notch.
Okay, plenty thank you to you, Alfred Sama from Bank of Salon, Senior Director Monitoring Stability. Maybe they talk on the payment switch. Over to you, Commissioner. You hear the message we can.
Yeah, the messages them. I appreciate the texters them for all the messages that they send. And one thing clear, they want to see a lot more collaboration between Parliament and ACC. And they confirm to them say there has always been collaboration between we and ACC, we and Parliament. And even in this instance, I don't outline the collaborative step they will take from the very beginning. And we sent 2 different communications them to the head of PAC. Even yesterday, when I say refer a particular matter to ACC on onions, and we not do nothing about them, that issue they would done nearly 8 months ago. I tell the director of investigations for put that report there inside an envelope and send them to him. So there is clear collaboration between we and Parliament. Has always been clear collaboration between we and PAC. We even got a memorandum of understanding between we and the Public Accounts Committee. I heard yesterday, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, they say, you know, aware of MOU. I am telling you, there has always been an MOU since the days of Abdul Tijan Cole coming to Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara to Adi Macaulay before I became commissioner. There's an MOU, and we have copies, and Parliament has a copy. So if you want to review that MOU there, we can always sit down again and review the MOU. But there's collaboration, and like I say, we they continue to engage Parliament on this. Even yesterday, when he make all the statement there, I immediately called the clerk of Parliament, I called the Speaker of Parliament, I called the leader of government business, and I speak with the Deputy Chief Whip in Parliament about all these things when they happen, and all of them are clear that we for sit down and try for sort this out amongst ourselves and push it forward. So I assure the public, say, let them not worry about this. Waiting we at the ACC want is accountability in the system and for avoid impunity. We don't move so far. Right now, Sierra Leone is so respected when it comes to the fight against corruption. We don't want anything care. We go back to where we've been there. And because of that, me get a responsibility as long as I continue for being anti-corruption commissioner for protect the integrity space of the country and for work with institutions like Parliament for continue for ensure that.
Somebody say if this continue between you and Parliament, that's the Public Account Committee specifically, you go resign. One texter.
I don't maintain and I don't repeat say it should not be between we and Parliament.
Now the text and I message I read to you. Not
so they clarify to the texter say it should not be between we and Parliament. We get a very good relationship with Parliament. Even on this issue, we have been having a very cordial relationship with Parliament. Now the rhetoric where they come from one man in the issue.
Okay. Somebody they say please ask Francis Ben Kaifala how much money he don't recover so far since he be commissioner, and how that money don't go to the promise we the president be make for build diagnostic center.
Yeah, we don't recover a lot of money, as we say. We don't always present them to Parliament. Even recently, we present to the Ministry of Finance over 21 billion leones in recoveries we will make, and we will continue for provide that money there. When we provide that money there to the executive arm of government through the Ministry of Finance, now usually the executive arm of government will determine how they do, and we know they implement their projects then they. So if that person they want to know how far the diagnostic center process don't go, probably they need to speak with the Minister of Health.
Now, how much money we don't get that so far? Since you be commissioner,
it's over 60 billion old loans now, which is now about 60 million new loans, and that money they probably is 5 times what the ACC we don't ever recover before I become commissioner.
Is it that this money they go now the consolidated fund or it the ring fenced? Like how
we get a special recovery account to say all money will they recover they go, but that special recovery account, like all other government account, is linked to the consolidated revenue fund, which means the Ministry of Finance has access to it and then they operate them.
So what's una mandate after una don't put the money there? Now the monitor for see if the money still there or they don't use them.
We they collaborate with the Ministry of Finance and we get a very good relationship. So for example, Matthew Dingy, when the financial secretary, before him, Mr. Sajusu, when I be the financial secretary, we get called. I could check waiting they happen and they give me update.
This money still there na this ring fenced account or you know, did again?
As of today, I can't tell you because I don't get that information. But I know say that is a special recovery account and for be used by purposes where the president identify. And for most part, who don't check, that is what happens. So, for example, the student loan scheme, some of the money was used to give loans to students for go study overseas and for studying in Sierra Leone.
So, in terms of this year ACC, we know on a new strategy and continue on the fight against corruption. On a key review on a strategy,
yes,
on approach.
On so the new strategy we will launch just last month, December. Now for use more and more technology and digitization in the fight against corruption. I make a very happy with Mr. Alfred Sama and the team where then they try for push the country towards a cashless society where we do transactions digitally. That alone they help reduce corruption because they reduce the human to human interaction and also touch forms. So if then kind of system that are public institutions themselves adopt them and start making payment to individuals through digital means, it will stop the idea we boss they say they are waiting they left for me, and that happens even at the highest level, at very high levels where people then they always ask for kickbacks and all those things. So that human to human interaction will happen. So with new strategy is to push the country more and more towards using technology, digital systems and processes for deal with public accounts and public finances and even for e-governance. So I'm really happy with the Bank of Sierra Leone and I appreciate them and all the team that really work on this for make sure say we continue for move towards digitization. This is the way to go. This is not the 21st century, and with that alone Sierra Leone go don't prevent corruption by more than half.
So waiting commissioner will left people we still get the doubts on the fight against corruption. We on they do, because no matter how you feel so they do well, you get people we can still get objection or criticize for say maybe the fight against corruption the peak.
Well, criticism na fear. It's a very powerful thing, a good for we. It's fine for make the public hold we to account, let them scrutinize what they do, and sometimes some men get reservations. Now that they make one for prove a point and for push more things more forward. But I can just assure them say the fight against corruption in Sierra Leone is recognized as the strongest in Africa at present, and that is why many countries that they come learn from we. All we now need from the public is for continue for support we, and we appreciate the president. We are a president we committed to the fight against corruption, and he don't always continue for give the free hand and support for make we do what they do for the good of the people of Sierra Leone.
Okay, plenty thank you to you. That's now Commissioner for the Anti-Corruption Commission, Francis Kaifala, will be the update on ACC their work and also on the 2023 audit report. Plenty thank you, we will be guests inside this program.
Thank you very much. It's up to you.
Also, we get Alfred Sama from Bank of Salon, Senior Director Monitoring Stability. We will talk about a payment switch. Mr. Sama, thank you. We come and be with guests inside this edition of the program. Good morning, Salon.
Thank you very much. And I want to let the public know say this is live, it's real. Do you go to your bank? Go let them go on board you at the instant payment switch. You enjoy them, you do transactions safely, securely, and very fast.
Okay, your time space for Bank of Salon is on ID.
No problem.
Okay, well, thank you. Exactly.